What happened to the royal sisters after they retired back in season 9 of My Little Pony? If you wish to know, come with me because in today's video, we will talk about the whereabouts of Celestia and Luna. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and as G5 hasn't answered what happened to the royal sisters after season 9, I have to come here and debate with you guys about where the two of them go. Starting with the younger sister Luna, which in the episode The Beginning of the End Part 1 revealed that she might go back to Silver Shoals so she could relax a bit, since monitoring everybody's dream isn't such an easy and fun task to do. Not to mention that in a calm, quiet place like this, the odds of a new villain appearing to torment the ponies is really low. But do you know what would be really iconic if Silver Shoal become a touristic attraction because of Luna? That would be living there, meaning that the peace and quietness wouldn't come that easy for her. About Celestia, well, I think that she should be traveling a lot to know every place inside and outside Equestria, something that she couldn't do before. Actually, the princesses, or better ex-princesses, didn't leave the castle for nothing, since they were buried in royal duty and responsibilities. So much that at the first time that Luna and Celestia go on a vacation, Celestia can only think about doing radical, dangerous, and fun stuff, since she always had to be at the same castle for decades. I wonder if at any point, Celestia got to visit Canterlot to speak with her old disciple that now rules all Equestria, almost like they were mother and sister. And I'm talking about just chatting. Maybe she visited Twilight many times since Celestia liked to travel anyway, while Luna must have sent some letters from her place at Silver Shoals, both Twilight and her friends, and even Celestia maybe. When I went to take a look at the internet to see what people think about what could have happened to them, many people said that they possibly just wanted to go far away from Equestria, since Twilight's reign would be the most peaceful of all and they didn't have to worry about her. And everything that the two sisters would want is a little peace and quiet, away from every conflict. I can see that happening with Luna because she's really reserved and such, but I don't know, Celestia doesn't seem like she would do that. Disappear from the map without saying a last goodbye to Twilight and the main six. Do you guys think that she could have run away so no pony could bother them at all? Feel free to comment down below where they could be if that's the case. But then, searching more about it, I saw that many fans before the arrival of G5 theorized that as soon as both sisters would give up their positions, they would cease to be immortal, starting to age and eventually die at some point. It's creepy to think about it since we know that alicorns are practically celestial beings, almost like gods that never grow old like regular ponies, so seeing an old alicorn would be really interesting, but also weird. Other fans says that they are not powerful governors anymore. This immortality magic would pass to Twilight, so much that she would even grow some inches years later, just like Celestia. But even if that makes sense, we can't forget that sadly Opaline is canon in My Little Pony universe. But Julie, what does it mean? It's because as we saw in G5, Opaline grow with both sisters, meaning that they have the same age. And following this logic, the villain doesn't seem to have aged at all. And if she still maintains the young look that we see, it means that the old princesses would also be young and fine. And this simple fact negates the idea of the old princesses starting to age at some point after Twilight's coronation. But there is one thing that I haven't seen no one talk about. Did Opaline met the royal sisters after the ending of G4? Imagine the fight that they would get involved. I would watch it any day. Oh, would I? I think about it, she was banned from Skyrose, right? We don't know at which point she was banned, if it was during Twilight's govern, when she was still young, I mean, when she was still little, or if it was when she was an adult, in her supreme alicorn form, you know? We just know that Spike was with Twilight when Opaline showed up in Ponyville. So I thought about two things that might have happened with Luna and Celestia as soon as Opaline was banned. The first thing would be that every alicorn born in Skyros end up sharing some connection with its home, so they can go back to their land without the need of a map. And then I imagine that both sisters felt like something bad was about to happen in Skyros. Then, as they were traveling to their homeland, Opaline would meet them in the way. And as she had collected dragon magic, Opaline was now a fire alicorn, an almost invincible being for Celestia and Luna, I suppose. And what would be the result of this meeting? A fight, obviously. And since both princesses resigned their charges, I don't think that they have the same power as they had, something that could have contributed to Opaline's win. And she absorbs the remaining magic that resides in them and let them be around somewhere, or maybe she destroyed them, who knows, really finishing both of them, something that would bring a heavy vibe to the series, making the villain even more evil, and not that silly and bland villain that we got. If you also agree with me, what about leaving a like in this video? Thanks! And in my second theory, I think that Opaline would have gathered all the dark magic to go after Celestia and Luna, since the villain always cultivated a big resentment for both sisters for all this time. And as old retired princesses, it would be easy to defeat them. But how would Opaline know where the old enemies would be? Well, if it was to guess, I would say that she disguised herself as a regular unicorn, just like in G5 comics, and roamed Equestria looking for them. And I think it would be easier to locate Luna, since she would be at her fixed place, Silver Shoals. But Celestia would be traveling all the time, giving a hard time to the villain to find her. Unless Celestia realized that Luna stopped sending letters to her, and she would go visit her sister to see if everything was alright, and then she would come face to face with the fire alicorn. And this time Celestia isn't the same alicorn that she was before. Opaline shouldn't have to break a sweat to defeat her, and it wouldn't be a surprise for me if Opaline really went after the sisters because of all the hate towards both. And after being banned, it must have gotten worse. But what about you? What do you think happened to the old princesses? Maybe they're hidden somewhere outside Equestria, or maybe they're back at Skyros after Opaline was banned. Tell me in the comments, since I will read all of them, okay? Thanks a lot for watching till here, and hasta la vista!